What's going on YouTube? JT here, and welcome back to another edition to my Godzilla and Marvel comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla Infinity Roar, issue number 5 of 5. For this particular title, it is going to be continuing in another series, which is going to act as the conclusion to this sort of trilogy of Godzilla Marvel crossover comic books. So this one definitely has middle chapter syndrome, and it leaves itself on a big cliffhanger ending. It doesn't feel as fully satisfying as the first series when that ended. This one is basically just Dr. Doom assembling the team to get ready to traverse the multiverse in order to combat Godzilla and KNULL. That's pretty much the issue in a nutshell. We get some, different characters getting recruited. There's a moment here where it seems like KNULL is kind of making Doom bow before his feet, but that's not really the case right there, as it's just kind of something misleading. And Doom just going across, just gathering different heroes. There's a moment where he kind of tricks somebody into like, hey, I'm going to need your help with something, but then just kills them off anyways when KANG or whatever shows up, and he's gathering all sorts of people. There's it looks like Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and various other heroes and all that, so he can get ready to get his squad, as he's going to call them, the Avengers of Doom, to traverse across the multiverse, gather enough variants to face off against Godzilla. And Godzilla is there with the symbiote in him, and knows Godzilla, our plans are, not going to go so well. Need you to wake your ass up. But Doom keeps Godzilla occupied by having him face off against MECHAGODZILLA, which, Godzilla's pretty unstoppable in this thing, just with, the unification of him and KNULL. And, you're going to need all the help you can get. And so we're going to get Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse as the next series, which is going to start to release next month. So all things considered, this is middle chapter syndrome in a comic book format. It doesn't feel like a fully complete, satisfying storyline, because it's just basically, like I said, setting the stage for the next little series right here, which is going to be coming out starting next month. So does it feel fully satisfying as a conclusion to Godzilla Infinity Roar? No, but it's not really the full conclusion. They're just kind of, okay, we got the team together, let's get ready to traverse the multiverse and get ready to face off against Godzilla by probably bringing in all sorts of different Godzilla variants. So that should be kind of fun. That's going to be the more exciting thing. We've done, Earth, everything we've kind of done there. We've conquered the galaxy in a sorts, because Godzilla's all across the cosmos and different things. That doesn't seem to work, so let's travel the multiverse. That's the next logical step, and I think, like I said, that's kind of the perfect way to kind of lay it out. You start out on Earth, then you go to the cosmic area, and then you go into the multiverse, and then that's pretty much all you can kind of do, I think, with this particular storyline. I think the next series will probably be the most fun, or probably the most crazy, ridiculous of them all. So I have been enjoying this series. This issue did feel a little bit lesser, I think, compared to some of the other ones, because, this is booked as the final issue of this 5-part series, but it's only going to be continuing in something else. And compared to the first series, where that just, ended pretty well and then had the KNULL kind of cliffhanger right there, this one didn't feel as satisfying. But I know it's coming back next month anyway, so judging this as a standalone issue, I think it's, it's decent. You get some good Godzilla action in there, but it's mostly just kind of gathering the team of kind of characters. There's a few fun moments with Doom and KNULL doing his thing, but out of the 5 issues of this particular story arc, this specifically titled Godzilla Infinity Roar, I think this one was probably the weakest overall. Not bad per se, but compared to when the first series ended that, I covered beforehand, that felt, okay, that was kind of a fully satisfying thing in a way, but it had a cool kind of cliffhanger, tease for a sequel. This one, it's just okay, we just got the team, let's go right into the next thing. It doesn't really feel like it wraps itself up as much, kind of where the previous one did. But again, it's continuing next month. It's not that big a deal. It's just kind of a title change. But like I said, if you're just reading this as a trade paperback, it was fine. Way, I guess, to kind of end this particular arc, but I'm ready for the more exciting stuff in the next issue. So, but yeah, artwork is once again fantastic. This comic book was, of course, written by Jerry Dugan with art by Javier Garrón and Demencio Carbone. But again, out of the 5 issues, probably my least favorite. But, there's still some good moments in there, too. Artwork, like I said, is solid throughout. And I like some of the moments with Doom where it's okay, I'm gonna have to get this shit done since nobody else can seem to do it. But I'm waiting for that inevitable kind of showdown between Doom and KNULL. It's sometimes fun when you get villain versus villain. I think sometimes that's a little bit more interesting than, the typical hero versus villain sort of thing, because villains will do things that heroes won't necessarily do. And it's kind of fun to see them kind of screw each other over in the end. So I am excited to see how this storyline wraps itself up with the upcoming, Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse or whatever. So, but what did you think of this issue? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Post your comments down below. If you like this video, share with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. And I'll be back again right after this with the latest Kaisei era book. And yeah, then I shall see you all later. Peace out, everyone.